Hey, it's Austin from LTV Numbers. In this video, we're going to be talking about why we think LTV is the new defining metric and why it's so important for business owners and marketers like yourself. So let's dive right in. So, what is LTV? LTV stands for lifetime value, or some people commonly refer to it as customer lifetime value. Now, this is the metric that you need to track in order to actually understand your customer's experience, because LTV shows you how much money that the average customer would spend over their lifetime. Or to simply put, it's how valuable or how much your customer is worth to your business throughout your entire relationship with them. And that includes all the purchases that they made the day that they became a customer and every purchase after that. And it's also important to note that there is such a thing as lead LTV, where it shows you how much money that the average lead would spend over their lifetime. Also, if you're wondering how we calculate LTV, we divide the total revenue by the total number of customers. And now we'll talk about why LTV is so important. Because LTV answers the question, how much can I actually be spending to acquire a customer? You may also know this as customer acquisition cost. And this is the money that you'd invest in advertising, marketing, setting up special offers, anything to acquire a customer. And this is really important because you never want your LTV to be less than that cost. And I'll give you an example. Let's say at a coffee shop, the LTV of an average customer is $1,000. But it also cost about $1,000 just to acquire the average customer. In that case, that coffee shop might be losing money unless it pares down on its costs. And in our case, paid ads, let's think of it as a game. The name of this game is that the business that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. Because platforms like Facebook end up rewarding the highest bidder with even more traffic. And so let me show you how that can be practical with an example. All right, so here we have the LTV numbers tool, and we're looking at data for the past 365 days, the past year, and we're breaking our data by funnel. Now here on the left, you can see the LTV lifetime value graph, and on the right, we have our revenue graph. For the purposes of this video, just completely ignore the right graph. You don't need to know what that is, and I'll explain that in detail in another video. Now, this LTV graph gets its data from this table down here that lists all the funnels because it's a funnel breakdown. New customers, day 0, 30, 60, 90 LTV. There's also a table for LTR, total customer, orders, AOV, order revenue, and total revenue, which I'll get to all in another video, don't worry. So let's go back to this and our example. So let's say we have two businesses, business A and business B. And based on this graph, let's call the purple line business A and the red line business B. For the purposes of this video, to illustrate that LTV is so important, let's say business A doesn't have access to this tool. And so they only see that their AOV is $168. That means they're only willing to spend up till $168 to acquire a customer. Not bad. However, for business B, because they have this tool, instead of only being willing to spend up to $161 to acquire a customer, if we look at this graph, they actually can spend up to $186 to acquire a customer. Now, if they're willing to spend that much, who do you think is going to get more traffic? I think business B would. And the thing is that most businesses actually operate like business A, where their capacity is much lower because they do not know their LTV. Moral of the story is that if you do know your LTV, you can compare that with your customer acquisition cost, and it answers the question, how much can I actually spend to acquire a customer? And if your LTV is $186 like business B, well, you could always spend up to $186 if you wanted, depending on your cash flow. So what we just saw is a very common case. And Business B actually made a loss up front if they spent more than $161 to acquire a customer. Well, guess what? Business B got more traffic, knowing that they're going to get profit in the long run anyway because of what the LTV graph showed. So you can be confident that even if you're losing money up front, you'll be making a profit in the long run. But ultimately, it boils down to your desired cash flow. And you don't need to get bogged down in the complex calculations, but really it's important to be mindful of the value, the total value actually, a customer or a lead provides over their lifetime relationship with you. And by understanding the customer experience and measuring feedback at every step, you can start to understand the key drivers of LTV. This is also a great metric if you have a multi-year relationship with the customer. So, for example, a TV subscription or a mobile phone contract. LTV helps you understand what your customers are attracted to, which funnel step you should invest in, where in the purchasing process attracts the most number of customers, and how to invest your money. As I said earlier, there are going to be other videos in which I'm going to teach you how to optimize your LTV by giving you more context. So this is just a brief summary, and this is one of many examples how knowing your LTV can change your decisions. Basically, LTV is super, super important. I feel like no one else really has delved into the topic or analyzed its LTV as much as we do. Because we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we believe that this is the metric that's going to change businesses all around. So, yeah, if you're interested to learn more, just book a call. But all I can say is that this is the number that you need to know. These are the types of numbers that you need to know in depth right now. Hey, if you like that video and you want to learn more about this, let's hop on a call. Just click on the link on this page or in the video description below. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. See ya.